guys. Hello, wonderful viewers.
Hello.
We're always excited to be here.
Very
We're
much.
always excited. Today, am I the host? Okay, I'm like the host today.
You are.
And then he's the guest. You guys remember Mr. Josh?
I've given you the platform.
Yeah.
To
and
excel.
I'm like your host today. So I'm Earl. And so we're going to be talking about something that, if you ask me, I think you guys should even give us the title for this topic. So we are going to just discuss something.
Yeah.
And then if you see the topic when we post the video, then that means that we found the title for it. Otherwise, you can also give us your title for the topic.
Yeah.
Because this actually got us, like, an incident came up between us. We're discussing an incident. And it was so interesting. We're like, we would love, like, your take on it. We would love you to be part of it and tell us what you think. Because it's such an interesting perspective, right?
Yeah.
So let me give the incident and then we move. So I was discussing with someone who was planning on giving another person a gift. Let me put it that way, right? Two anonymous people. And based on the health state of the recipient of the gift, I was but I was asking the giver of the gift to be more intentional about what they were giving to the recipient. Matter of fact, I actually told them that what they had in mind to give to them, they should probably change it. And this person didn't understand why I was saying that, because this gift is a food and it's something the recipient asked for, like a snack. And I said, oh no, this person is trying to lose weight, so like, why would you give them something that might not help, which in a sense, even though they like it. And then it just had me thinking, like, there are so many things happening in our world today, even with regards to food, nutrition, health, even technology, the impact of technology and all of that. And then it had me thinking, I was telling Mr. Josh that, like, do you think that, like, we should start redefining or rethinking how we see gifts? Because primarily we know that gift giving and gift receiving is more cultural, or the basis of it is more cultural and sociocultural,
Exactly,
than based on other factors. But I am now of the notion that those other factors have become very, very significant and relevant in our world today, right? And I can give a precedence. For instance, I would say that, especially in Africa, I don't know about the West or something, but in Africa, one of the gifts that young kids would love a lot is technology devices, right? Phones, iPads, all those kind of things, because they love it. But recent statistics, right, and I can read some of them to you, like the negative impact of these technological devices on Gen Zs and especially Gen Alphas. There was a study done by this foundation, and the EKC Foundation.
Okay.
And this is what they found out.
All right.
Like, and this is based on Gen Alpha, right? Because Gen Alpha is the generation, we've talked about generations here before, right? From 2013 to presently. And that they are becoming so proficient with handheld technology, right? We all know that. At younger ages, way more than previous generations. Matter of fact, 43% have a tablet or an iPad before the age of 6.
Okay.
And 58% have smartphones before the age of 10. As a result, yes, they are becoming more proficient with handheld technology, but it also means that they are engaging with social media early on in their development and exhibiting preferences for certain apps and platforms. And we all know the negative side of social media. So my perspective is that before, we would just give them gifts. Oh, you brought a phone, or you brought a tab, or you brought a game, so that the young kid will be excited. But I'm like, I feel, and this is my personal opinion, that the gift giver now has a great responsibility in being intentional about what they give to the recipient, regardless of the cultural or the sociocultural aspect of gift giving as we know in our world today, based on our modern world. Yeah,
I mean, even before we got to this place, I made it clear that, when you talk about gift, primarily you are talking about something that you are giving another person where you are not expecting maybe a return of maybe funds or something. It's just free, right?
Yeah.
And so when you make a point that, I mean, the giver has to be conscious of what he is giving to the receiver, definitely the giver has to think about what the receiver would want.
Yes.
Right? And since, I mean, I don't know, everybody looks at gifts and then looks at the person receiving it. No one would give something to someone that would cause harm. Do you get it? And in terms of your point, where you talk about technology, mind you, it's not just kids. It's just today or now what we face.
But kids
as a people.
It is widespread across the age groups.
Yes.
But we know that kids are the more vulnerable demographic in this situation. And look, the increasing rate of anxiety, the increasing rate of depression, even suicidal rates, all of this, there are studies that are having correlative relationships between usage of technology devices, primarily within the context of social media engagement, and all of these negative habits or these negative aspects of our culture now in our world today. So what I'm saying is that we don't think of those things whenever we are giving gifts to people. We don't think, for instance, in, let's say, the health perspective.
Okay.
I would consider the weight of somebody.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I can't believe
Not necessarily the weight per se, but even the goal, the health goal of somebody. So just because I know you like sweets, and I know that maybe you want to lose weight, even if you've not told me you want to lose weight, but I think you should lose weight, I won't give you sweets. Even if you like sweets, I won't give you sweets.
Why?
And I'm not talking about weight as in just appearance, but the healthy state of the person. I'm telling you, it is an epidemic in the diabetes, the overweightness, the obesity. I'm a food scientist. I know what I'm talking about. And as I'm looking at all these things, for me personally now, it's influencing how I give gifts to people. I'm just telling you the fact.
Okay, so basically what you are saying is that in terms of giving gift where it corresponds to them taking it in their body.
That's in this specific context of food.
Yeah, so I mean, because we tackled that of technology.
Yeah.
And I made it clear that it's not entirely because, I mean, the gift is maybe a mobile phone or maybe an iPad. It's how the gift is being used. So anything that is excessively used, you have a negative impact.
But
so
you know that.
Wait,
no,
let me speak.
For the technology part, you know.
No, let me speak.
Okay.
I just made that point so that you know where I'm coming from. So with the food that you just mentioned about, that someone is huge, someone is big, and because the person is big, you would consider giving the person, let's say, fruit, right, to reduce the weight, isn't it?
I didn't say to reduce the weight.
So to do what exactly? I'm just making a point to say that.
I'm just saying that I might strongly reconsider giving someone who might have like a goal of trying to lose weight sweets, even if that's their favorite snack to eat.
Yes, I understand. But what I'm saying is that the person you are giving the gift to won't tell you that give me sweet, right? So it's up to you, the person, to decide that, oh, maybe I think the person needs maybe a shoe, maybe a bag,
here's
maybe
case where
something.
I know the person likes sweets, and the person, that's their favorite candy.
Yes.
And matter of fact, anytime I take it to the person. Matter of fact, anytime I'm going to visit the person, which I don't do often, but like after a while, whenever I'm going to visit the person, person's like, oh, bring me this sweets. And I'm like, now I know that, okay, this person has been gaining a lot of weight, like their eating habit is not good, or maybe they are trying to now eat healthier. And I know this person, anytime I'm going to visit them, they're like, oh, bring me this sweets. And I'm saying now me actually won't do that. Because the sweet is not good for them.
Okay, so like I'm trying to understand this because no. Because what for me I would say is that first and foremost, you giving the thing to the person, you've thought about it. You've thought about the impact it will have on the person. It's not just the candies that you can give to the person. Do you get it? Maybe you are thinking of maybe giving the person, I don't know, maybe a shirt to replace the gift that you used to give the person that makes him or her happy. That's your stand.
Yeah, I just said I'll take something different.
You take something
I might
different.
take fruit. I mean, what has that money I used to buy the candy? That eventually goes into the person's body. It's nice for them to eat because they want an indulgence. But it goes into the person's body and becomes poison. I can use that same money to buy something. Maybe they might not necessarily like it, but it's healthier, like fruits.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, a book, even a book for them to read, even though that's not what they like. But what I'm saying is that, I mean, we don't just give gifts. I know we give gifts to people predominantly based on what they like, what will make them happy.
Yeah.
I am saying that I am motioning for this one, a change in culture, that we should now start considering the impact of the gifts on people. For instance, when I was a young kid, a lot of people who are visiting my mom, right, and she was a widow at the time. Well, she still is a widow, right? But
We understand.
at that time, whenever they are visiting, the adults, they would always bring this bottle of like an alcoholic beverage. It could be Baileys. Some of it was strong spirits, some wines and stuff like that. And it was culturally accepted. It was normal. I don't know about you. Maybe that I don't know. Do you experience that with your
you continue.
Yeah. So it was normal. But guys, I'm telling you, that is where I first learned how to start taking alcohol. Which now I don't. I'm not saying you should not do it or not, but I don't. But I'm saying that to them, in bringing that gift, it was harmless. But I found the stash of alcoholic beverages. So something that, and it all goes back to, does the gift giver bear a certain responsibility in what the gift can do to the gift recipient? You cannot just say that it's up to the person and how they use it. I don't agree with that.
So as I said previously, and I still stick to it, the reason is that, right, it all boils down to responsibility. As
whose responsibility?
Whose responsibility is a good question, because what I would say is that however you may think whatever you are giving the person may be, the best for the person, it all boils down to the person being responsible for him or herself, or the guardian being responsible for the kids, in the usage of the gift that comes to them.
Fair point.
By you putting putting like a responsibility on the person gifting is valid, but it's to some extent. What I'm saying is there's no statistics that says that 20%, 10% of gifts given to people has led them to go astray or has killed them or has caused a negative effect
that's on not what
the
I'm
people
saying.
Receiving the gift.
But that's not
Do
the
you
statistic.
understand?
That's not the
No,
statistic.
I'm saying that you saying that people should have a responsibility. The one given should bear a responsibility in the gift that is given to the receiver.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying that since the beginning of creation, people have thought about what needs to be given to someone they love or someone they are trying to gift to.
Okay, so has gifts even evolved over time?
Yes, because
based on what factors?
First and foremost, the time that we are in, right?
Okay.
The evolution of time.
Exactly.
Second is based on culture.
Right. So can I stay on, like, can I go to the first point you made, the time? Now I'm saying that in our modern world, there are studies that are being made that are correlating increased habits of anxiety and depression in adults based on their early exposure to technological devices that give them access to social media. This is a study that is being done. This is a statistic.
Okay.
So I'm saying that can it not affect how we might be giving technological devices to young kids as gifts? Let's say you were a rich uncle. You are a rich uncle. And then you have a nephew or a niece. And you know that what they love is those games and stuff like that. You know that there are studies being done on how exposure at an early age to these devices affects the brain growth, affects the social etiquette, affects the depression rates and all of that of this person when they grow up.
Yes.
Are you saying you're going to ignore all that and say, well, we still give technology, that's what makes the child happy? And then you just keep on giving because there's no responsibility on the giver on the gift that they are giving. It all depends on what the person does with it. So you're going to ignore the statistics.
Okay, so you are talking about statistics, but you've not made mention of the stats. Like, what stat are you talking about?
What stat?
But now, think about it. Where I would say is that, like, what I would really say is that, you know, personally, as like an uncle, if I'm going to give a gift to maybe my nephew or my niece, the first thing I'll think about is not technology, right? I'll think about maybe a dress, maybe a shirt, maybe something they could play with, you know, toys, right? So for me, talking about technology, even if I give it, or even if there's a percentage of people who give gifts to kids, you can't write off the fact that parents themselves hand these gifts to them. The kids will not know how to use this gift unless they have been exposed to. And it's not because
people really know how to.
And it's not because you gave the gifts to your niece or your nephew that will cause your niece or your nephew to begin to have a certain type of attitude, right? That you are saying that will cause them. No, but I'm telling you that give that, I mean, statistic that says that, you know, gift given by people, right, to their receivers has impacted their way of life. Because that's where you're coming from. Because you are saying that.
I'm not saying gift giving. I'm saying that there is a demographic, and there is an incidence where you can have adults who are saying, "Oh, the best gift I want to give to my young kid is a PS5."
Yes.
Or this one, and I'm saying that there are studies that are coming out. And I can read you some of the statistics right now. 65% of Gen Alphas aged 8 to 10 spend up to 4 hours a day on social media. Do you think that's a healthy thing?
It's not.
Do you think you can play a role in reducing that?
I can.
How do you want to play
Are you talking in terms of what? In terms of me purchasing it for my kids, or in terms of giving it to someone?
Both.
Because I know that, yes. So, grass are technology. Thanks to technology, now you can limit the screen hour or the screen time of certain things that you can have on your phone, on your iPhone. Yes, it's fact. Because, for example, for me, after 2 hours of using, let's say, WhatsApp in a day, I don't get access to WhatsApp again. And I've limited, you know, my time.
Don't you think it's more effective to just let the child grow, engaging and interacting with their environment, and then maybe about 11 or 12, then you can start them with a technological device, rather than early and say, "Oh, I want to reduce screen time, parental what do you call it, access or whatever." Which one do you think is more effective?
Yeah, but the mistake also you make is now also the age we are in, people are working more, people are not available more. What do you expect the parents to do?
That's a different topic for another day.
When the term is different, because they are all connected. You are telling me, oh, okay, so don't allow the kids to use maybe iPhone. They should read books.
I can give you a perfect example.
But the age you are in,
I know a family.
All right.
Their kids, they have 4 kids. The eldest is around 12. Next one 10. Then the rest are all below. They wake up by 8 a.m.
Okay.
And they are in their rooms playing with their toys. That is basically building stuff, whether it's Legos or engineering toys or whatever, and interacting with themselves. They have books, dolls or whatever. Until their parents call them and say, "Oh, you can come for breakfast." 11, 10, whatever. They spend the rest of the day. I think they're homeschooled. They spend the rest of the day schooling them and all that. By 7 p.m., they go back up to their room.
Okay.
Then maybe during the day, they allow them to watch some cartoons, usually Christian cartoons. Then afterwards, some other cartoons.
Okay.
7 p.m. they're back in their room.
All right.
And then the parents go spend time with them, read to them, or engage them in normal conversation. So their access to all the nonsense on social media is so limited. I know that those kids will grow up to be very, very, very healthy, mentally healthy kids.
This is a very good point. So when you speak like this, then I would align with you, and I would caption this to say that has technology done more harm than good? But you can't. It's just, but you can't base your argument on the fact that gifts, you know, in terms of gifting people, there's the need for responsibility from the giver.
I can,
you know,
and I do.
And I'm saying that even before, I mean, it's a base thing that you, the giver, giving the gift to the receiver, you ought to think about the thing you are giving, if it's a child, you should know that there are certain things that children like or need or want, and you are not.
Wait.
And you are not a guardian, mind you.
Need or want? Which one is the priority when it comes to giving a
So
gift?
it depends on what you are giving, and then what the person, would consider it to be. Because maybe you can give me a phone. Maybe at the time I have three, it wouldn't be a need; it would be a want. At the same time, maybe I don't have a phone, but you give me a phone, it will become what? A need.
Yes.
But it's the same product, but different.
I agree with
so
you.
Literally,
So we have to consider all these things we are giving.
So
when it comes to kids,
the
priority is never what they really want; it's what they need to grow up healthy.
Yes.
In the same way, if I have an adult friend who I know is trying to change their diet, now the priority or the factor I consider the most when I'm giving them the gift is not what they want to eat, or if let's say I want to give them something to eat, but what they need.
Yes.
So you agree with me? We are aligned.
I agree with you. I never said that. No, listen. I never said I don't agree entirely. I'm just saying that where you took your argument from, right, it's misplaced. It's neither here nor there. The reason I'm saying that is that the topic in question doesn't align with what you've just ended
It
with.
aligns.
Because
I said, should we start rethinking the way we give gifts right now in our world? Which means that prior to let's say, or before, much of the responsibility of how the gift is utilized lies on the recipient. And I'm saying now, I feel that the gifts givers, based on our awareness of what's happening in our society today and the impact of things on people and our love for the person we are giving a gift to, should bear some responsibility. That's what I'm saying. Do you disagree or do you agree?
It's neither here nor there for my opinion. Everybody has a point, guys. For me, I'm saying that even before, technology came, people thought about what would be given to someone who would receive a gift, right? So if you tell me now that we have to rethink, we've already rethought. Even before you trying to think about rethinking. But if you tell me that technology is causing harm, right? And so we ought to look at.
Did I say
no,
that?
I'm saying that's how you ought to speak. Because when you say gift, what do you mean by gift? First and foremost, I think this whole argument or this whole discussion. No. Honestly, this whole discussion, I feel like the basis is a bit, shaky, because we have to be really, that not direct, but we need to know what we are saying, because it's like you go like that and then you come like that, and then I go like that and I come.
I know
like
where
that.
I stand, and I've made that very clear.
Okay, so in conclusion,
he knows where he stands. Maybe he's not clear where he stands. Me, I know where.
Please,
I stand.
I know. I'm very clear. I'm very clear in my mind.
I think this one, we really would love your opinions on it.
Exactly.
And what you think about it. If I'm wrong, you can tell me. And if you agree with me too, you can tell me.
You are not too wrong. You are not too right. You are just.
So
okay.
Thank you for staying with us this long. You know what we have next. Like, there's always a fun aspect to this. I don't even know the questions that are coming.
Honestly, I'm gone.
We have our Mr. Anonymous. These days, the questions, I don't know. They feel like they're getting harder. But guys, you know how we do it. Next up is Agora.
All right.
So guys, welcome back to our Agora session.
All right.
I know where I stand.
I also know where I stand.
Right? I don't know where Josh.
I don't also know where you stand.
Right. But maybe the questions can give us an I feel the questions were exposing. So we are going to go over to Mr. Anonymous to ask the questions.
Let's see, guys. Let's see.
Hello there. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't also know about you. Are you okay?
Very argumentative.
I'm not argumentative.
I'm just making my point clear. It's
Okay.
very simple.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have some questions for you. It is nothing difficult. Don't shiver. Don't panic.
Right.
So
I'm very
actually
chill.
going to start with L.
I'm fine.
You could have started, but it's fine. Give it to the.
Do you want it?
My answer will be straightforward.
Alright.
You
So
might
L.
go around, but I'm
So first question goes to you. Alright. So you are in a relationship. You understand?
hypothetical.
No, hypothetical. Yes.
Oh, no. Why you laughing? Why you have to say hypothetical?
It is hypothetical. Okay, Okay.
No, I mean in reality.
Do you think,
I'm in a
no,
relationship.
please.
Oh, okay,
Please,
okay.
this is a hypothetical situation.
Let's
I
be
don't want to
hypothetical.
put the relationship status of anybody out there, please.
Oh yeah.
So, do you think it is appropriate to give extravagant gifts to your partner, or does it create unrealistic expectations?
I believe it depends on the stage of the relationship. But generally, once you are not married, you have to be moderate in how you give gifts, because you can only keep increasing the level of extravagance of a gift. Right? Imagine if you give someone a car, then the next year you give them a scooter. It's some way we don't understand what's going on. So I believe, especially early on these days, we have boys doing crazy things from the beginning just so that they can win the girl over. So I believe it creates unrealistic expectations. Even in marriage, depending on how you guys manage your budgets, you have to be money conscious about how far you can go. Of course, in marriage, there's no more limitation to how much you want to show someone you love them. But even with that one, there are couples who are managing their money well, so they know they can't go beyond a certain amount when it comes to buying gifts. Because you know
wouldn't that be too much thinking? It's like you're thinking too much.
No, I think people have to be very, very wise in how they manage money.
All right.
Yeah. So
thank you for your.
But before you even come to me, but who gives the threshold for
extravagant?
The Lord God Yahweh.
Yeah. Guys, just pay attention. Okay, pay attention.
What kind of question are you
I am
asking?
not supposed to have
You, it's okay.
guys, I'm not supposed to have an opinion, but when it comes to the definition of extravagance, I think it is very subjective.
Sometimes it's the couple.
You know, yes.
Exactly, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't think.
So why are you asking me that?
I don't
No, the
think-
question that came, how? Okay, guys, it's
I don't
okay.
think buying a Range Rover
I'm just
for
okay.
a potential girlfriend, no, Dangote doing that is extravagant.
Why? It depends. It depends
Yes,
on
so
who
that's
you are.
why. Yes.
It depends on who
So
you are.
to you, maybe
But me
it looks
buying-
huge, but for me, it's just peanuts.
Yeah, but if after you buy a Range Rover, you have to go to private jets.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Oh, that's
so,
what you would do.
So.
Oh, that's nice. Hi, ladies.
I
Hi.
think I will recommend one of my sisters.
Ask
for
him.
you.
Yes. Yes.
So, Mr. Josh.
I like the way you are
Mr.
thinking.
Josh, this is going to be a question.
All right.
So, you like children, I know, and you play with them a lot.
Let the children
So,
come to me.
Yeah. So, do you think it is, how do you call it, when you're a parent, do you think you should limit the number of gifts that you give to your child or your children to avoid fostering a sense of entitlement?
That's a really good question. I mean, too much of everything is bad, first and foremost, right?
Is that so?
Yes, too much of everything. And I believe that, I mean, in terms of gifting, there's no threshold, right? But you need to also know that you can't always be gifting your kid, especially when they feel like, oh, every time maybe you go, you come in, you give them something, right? As in the form of a gift, every time. Then it would give them that sense of entitlement that you ought to always give them, something whenever you return in the form of a gift, right? So that's my stand. I feel like one way, there's no threshold to how many times you can give your kids, but also as an adult, you also have to know when you ought to give it. It shouldn't be all the time, in my personal opinion.
So if every time I go out and I bring my child a book to read, is it excessive?
Too much of everything is bad.
So you are thinking
Too
about
much
the
of
type
everything.
of gift,
Yes.
right?
Okay, so let's say in a whole
I just
year.
want- I
No,
just-
I'm just because let's say we have
Calculating is less.
yes, because you have 365 days in a year. So every time you go and come, you give your child a book.
Do I go out every 3 days?
No, that's
I go
what
out every day.
you don't go out every day.
I don't go out every day.
Oh, okay.
Do you go out every day?
I go out every
Okay,
day.
then maybe that's your problem.
Okay, guys, it's okay. What is like today? You guys want to argue? Okay, so I'll come back to you. All right. So we meet different people, and there are acts that you will do in one instance or to somebody, that we see to be very okay, the person will receive it very well. But the same act, another person, or even the same person in a different environment will perceive it differently or may be angry about it. So I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think it is appropriate to give, how do we call it? Sorry, I'm coming. Do you think it is thoughtful or intrusive? So thoughtful or intrusive, okay, to give someone a gift related to personal improvement, like maybe body spray, soap, toothpaste, brush, or gym membership. You know, so let's say you have this fat friend, and you go and get him gym. How do you think? And self-help book. You know, you think the person has an attitudinal problem, then you. So, do you think it is thoughtful or intrusive?
Wow. I think it's thoughtful, but I think depending on how personal the issue is, it can go to an intrusive place. But it's thoughtful. I mean, books are really great. If I feel like maybe you are struggling with your faith or with a knowledge somewhere, and I get a book, who would say that that's intrusive? That right? And funny you mentioned, because I have had instances where I did want someone to optimize their self-hygiene, and I remember I asked someone how to go about it. I asked my mentor how to go about it, and he told me, from time to time mention, just ask what the person uses and all of that, in order to just understand what they use. Don't say in a bad way. Don't even put in. Just be neutral about it, and then you can be like, oh, I found this is so good and all of that in a casual setting, right? So that it feels like you are recommended, and then when you see the person still doesn't make the move, you can get it for the person as a gift, because you just want to better the life. You want to add value to the life of the person. So I believe in certain scenarios, it is quite thoughtful and even necessary. But depending on, I don't know the context I can mention, but sometimes they are inappropriate.
Yeah.
And there's some things you can't go and get somebody as a gift because
slimming tea,
Yeah, I think slimming tea is a bit.
Thank you very much for your answer. All right, so we've been talking about gift and all that, but people like me. I don't even expect gift from anybody. Sometimes you give me gift and I become a bit, I don't know. It's not like I'm saying take it away, but I don't really feel good about receiving gift.
You need love,
It needs love.
Yeah.
There are some people who like that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to ask you, Mr. Josh, is that do you think friends and family members should respect a person's request for no gift, or is it important to mark special occasions with tangible tokens of affection? So
that's a very thoughtful
I'm not
question.
a gift type. I don't like gift. Do you think family and friends should go ahead and give gift?
So first and foremost, what is gift? And
Take us the Dr. Josh.
And when you look at gifts, I mean, the definition, it says that giving something, right, to someone without having the need to receive anything, in return. And this gift may show signs of affection or maybe appreciation, right? And so, as I always say, people's stance to things needs to be respected. But notwithstanding also, if you're a loved one, not because, for example, because your child says that I won't eat, doesn't mean that you have to respect that and not give your child food. Because anything that comes after that, you will bear the risk. Some people are just anxious of what to do when they receive gift.
They're not used to it.
Yes, so it's two things. Either they are just anxious or they just don't know. They just don't want it. And that would be really strange for me. But I think if you are maybe a parent or a relative, at least you should give something. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I mean, yeah. It shouldn't be too loud. It could be just simple things, It shouldn't be like loud. Yeah.
Reminds me of a man who he has a wife, and then when he was getting to an anniversary, he asked the wife what, because the guy he not going to take plenty.
Yeah.
The man said, "Oh, just wants him." And so when the anniversary came, she came in with a gift, and the guy was like, "Oh, I didn't get anything." The woman was like, "What? You didn't get anything?" He said, "I thought you should have thought that when I said I don't really want anything, it means go and think." I mean, boys are suffering. So sometimes you have to know that it's not because
like
talking about boys.
Charlie,
Boys,
the women with the beg, the women with the beg. If you want yes, please say yes and don't. Because actually they worry me. Yeah, it's a really huge problem.
the man makes shit.
Guys, pay attention to details, huh?
Please, since you are talking about something about relationship, I will ask you one concerning that. So, do you think partners should give joint gifts? No, I'm not even asking you that. It's okay. I will change that question.
Change.
Pass me by.
Do you think partners should exchange wish lists to ensure they give each other gifts that they truly desire, or does it distract from the element of surprise?
I think the use of the word should implies an obligation, right? Like, oh, this is how things should be. Let's all do it this way. I don't think you can use should in this context because it depends on the couple. So I don't think it should be all couples should exchange wish list or not exchange wish list. I think it depends on the couple. If you know your partner appreciates specificity. You can be like, okay, tell me what you want, because I know you're that kind of person. Some partners too don't really mind specificity. They appreciate the gesture of being given a gift. Obviously, you know enough of the person to know what they would really appreciate and what they won't appreciate so much. And once it falls within a range of certain gifts or even services, like taking the person out or something for dinner, you know that Charlie, they are cool. They don't need to write down a list. So it depends on the couple. Some people are very peculiar. Like, if it's not what they want, they can't appreciate it. If you know that's the person you are with, please, you have to be specific. If you're not that kind of person too, you can be like, oh, I'm not that kind of person, so you can get me anything and I'll be fine. So the dynamic is what works for the person. It's not a one size fits all, right?
All right.
But I think that should is also like a conditional verb. So it's not like you must do it.
I don't think it's imperative.
Yeah.
Should you do it? It's more like, so
it could be or not.
Yeah. But anyways, we are not in grammar.
We are sorry.
Yes. Okay.
We are sorry.
So, Josh, you are going to answer the last question.
The last is reserved for who?
The best.
Okay.
Okay. So is it
the last?
So I want to ask you. Please listen.
And the last is just the last one. So I don't know why.
Let me
ask him.
Okay. So are you done laughing? Okay. So is it acceptable to give gifts to friends with the expectation of receiving something in return?
That will actually defy the definition of gift, because you don't have to expect anything. Notwithstanding, if the person says, okay, I thought about giving you something, it's fine, but you don't have to expect like, oh, I'm giving you this, so you ought to also give me that. That's
all right. Thank you for your answers.
No, but wait, why? Do we have a problem, sir?
No, we don't.
Okay, thank you.
We are pressed.
Okay.
You know, that's why.
No, but yeah, this is really a very nice.
Yeah. So thank you guys
Session,
for
yeah.
answering these
Press but not
questions.
destroy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Nice questions. I'm sure
Yeah.
Mr. Josh has been exposed.
Oh, I mean, the audience will speak to that.
Thank you guys. If you actually want to also answer some of the questions,
Yeah.
you can also just
Feel free.
chime in your opinion to
Yeah.
the conversation. But we hope you had fun. We hope you had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We will definitely see you next time. But before that, you know how we do it. You have to enjoy. So one of the ways of enjoying is actually liking. If you enjoy something, you like it. So there's a way of showing that you actually enjoy it.
Yeah, like.
And then share it so that other people can also enjoy it.
Share it, guys. Share it.
To some of your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Subscribe as well so
Subscribe.
that you get notified whenever we release something. And we have so much exciting stuff coming up. So stay tuned.
Stay
See you
tuned.
guys later. Bye.
Peace out.